Hi, welcome to Matt Talk, a video podcast for the friends and family of Coming First United Methodist Church from me, Pastor Matt. Well, today is Monday, November the 6th, and this is the 56th episode of Matt Talk. Welcome. I am so glad you are here. I'm actually recording this on Halloween, October the 31st, and by the time you see this on Monday, November the 6th, Halloween will be past for yet another year. However, I wanted to briefly share with you a bit about Halloween. Halloween began as All Hallows Eve, the evening before All Saints' Day, which is always November 1st. It was an evening of celebrating ghosts and spirits and such as we get ready to celebrate and remember those who have died since the last All Saints' Day. Halloween has become the second most popular holiday in North America, with Christmas being the first. It's a playful, fun evening, and now spreading into several evenings. It is a night of building community and making neighbors as we decorate our homes and open our doors and our front porch to neighbors and share a sweet treat with them. And we enjoy the playful costumes of creativity that our neighbors have put together as part of their outreach to the neighborhood and our outreach to our neighbors. And let me ask you, when else do we engage in the community more than at Halloween? And when else are we so open to others than at Halloween? When else do we share gifts with others like we do at Halloween? And we share not just with the ones we know or the ones we love, we share with whomsoever would come to our front door. And they're dressed up and we don't even know who they are sometimes. And we share with them regardless of their age, their race, their economic level, their culture. We share with all of our neighbors. And we participate in the entire night with a delightful and fun, playful spirit. I read an article that stated that there is now some intriguing social science showing a strong correlation between a community's health and the extent to which it celebrates Halloween. If only we could live the Halloween spirit regularly as a community and make it worldwide. Well, maybe Halloween is the beginning of teaching us how and of giving us a vision of what such neighborhood and community building could really look like in our world. Just some thoughts as we continue past Halloween this year and into our future. Well, today I want to talk with you most about our roof project. As best I can research, it was late in 2017 when the church experienced some roof damage on both the Sanctuary and Family Life Center, requiring these buildings to be re-roofed. The cost of this project at that time was just a little over $324,000, and it was paid for by our insurance company, who covered the wind damage. Now, about 5 years later, the shingles have begun to blow off both the Sanctuary and the Family Life Center. Some months back, when we had that heavy wind, several shingles blew off the Sanctuary, requiring a large tarp to be placed on the side facing Highway 20. So why have these shingles not held up? Well, we began to investigate that. Our first call was to our insurance company. They investigated and sent an engineer out and concluded that the damage was not due to wind, but it was due to either the manufacturing of the shingles or to the installation of the shingles. So samples of the shingles were sent back to the shingle manufacturer, who also investigated and said it was not the manufacturing of the shingles that was the issue. The Board of Trustees have contacted the installer and are in the process of further investigation to get to what has caused these shingles not to hold up. This process of figuring out why and who is responsible and of trying to get restitution could take months or maybe even years. In the meantime, a damage has already occurred to both the buildings. Leakage in the Family Life Center has discolored the wood rafters where water has flowed in and down the wall onto our new floor that was installed after the flood this past Christmas. And our fear is that if this water gets under the floor, it could buckle again, just as it did at Christmas, requiring it to be replaced. However, this time it would not be covered by insurance and would be a $50,000+ expense for the church. There is also damage in the sanctuary, with the metal beams above the ceiling beginning to rust, and in the mezzanine area there is also evidence of leakage and damage the length of that area. Our concern is that this water leakage could begin to eventually affect the sanctuary, or even get to our organ. The tarp that's on the sanctuary roof, as well as other patches that we can make, cannot keep some of the leaks from taking place. Nothing less than re-roofing is going to protect the buildings from further damage. The roof project was needing to be accomplished yesterday, but unfortunately, we don't have the funds to do it. The estimated cost of roofing the entire Family Life Center and the sanctuary building is around $500,000, $500,000. So this is where we are. What's next? Well, first of all, we're researching our options of borrowing the money needed. This raises several concerns and issues. First, with interest rates what they are, now is not the time to be borrowing money. Second, although our giving continues to grow, we still run a deficit of income over expenses for the 2023 calendar year. And when lending institutions see this, there is great hesitancy to loan an institution, even a church, money. Third, we currently have a debt already of around $350,000 for the sanctuary building. To borrow more money would increase our monthly debt payment significantly and would do so at a time when we continue to see a deficit without such an increased payment. The Committee on Finance has asked Robert Scott, who has willingly agreed to chair a committee and put a committee together to engage the congregation in a financial campaign to help raise the $500,000, with Christmas Eve being the culmination of that campaign. Hopefully, persons like myself and you would gift the church with funds beyond our regular giving, and together we could reach this goal with God's help. We will invite the preschool families, the Upward Sports families, and other friends of Coming First United Methodist Church to join with us and to help us with this project. You will surely be hearing more about this campaign in the weeks and months to come. So what happens if we raise more than the $500,000? Yes, I'm optimistic, and I believe we can, and we just might. Or what happens if we get restitution for the roof after we have already raised the money? Well, we have promised that any excess funds that we receive for this campaign or that we receive for the roof will be used only for the roof and other projects needed to maintain the buildings and campus. There are several other projects that are needing help, like HVAC replacements, landscaping, upgrades for energy efficiency, and so many others. We promise that no money given to this campaign or received for the roof will go to pay for budget items like salaries and utilities, except for the budget items that are in there under the trustees' budget area for capital improvements. So how can we help as a congregation together? Well, first, I pray that we would all give generously. This is our church, and this building and this campus are the source of many great ministries that touch both our lives and the lives of so many others. This project, while keeping the budget sufficient, is not beyond our doing. God has blessed us, and now we're needed to be a blessing and to keep the blessing of this place in good order. Your gift might be a gift of just $100, or it might be a gift of $25 per week. Or it might be a gift of $50,000 or $100,000. Or you may even be able to make a gift of $250,000. It will take us all doing what we can, every one of us, participating and pulling together positively to accomplish this task as a gift to the God who loves us always and who is always faithful to us. We can do this. I'm certain of it. And God will help us. Maybe you are also in the place where you could loan the church all or part of this cost at a low or no interest until we raise the funds. That would be a big help to get us through this time. And if that might be a possibility for you, I'd love to talk with you about that possibility and see what we can do. Next, I ask that we would all pray. We have certainly had our challenges over the last couple of years, and maybe even further than that. But now is the time, more than ever, for us to pull together, to be positive, to be excited, to be the church together, and to be in cooperation with God. God is truly blessing us. People are coming and joining our congregation on a regular basis, and we are excited about all the growth that we are seeing. So I pray that we all may be faithful, extremely faithful, with our presence and our gifts and our service and our witness as well. I pray that we wouldn't just do what we can, but that we would do more than we think we can as God calls us and lays it upon our hearts. I hope you are excited, and I hope that you're witnessing to your excitement of being part of such a congregation as Coming First United Methodist Church. And I pray that you are doing all you are able to do to make this place more and more what God really wants us to be. Well, as always, I'm glad to talk with you about this project, and I'm glad to talk with you more about the roof and answer any questions that you might have. Just call me or email me, or let's grab a cup of coffee or lunch together. I would love spending time with you. Well, I look forward to seeing you in Worship Sunday, and I look forward to sharing with you again next week another Matt Talk. Until then, may the peace and the joy of the living Christ be with you.